Hey, welcome back to the Daily Hustle. This is Dave Espino, and today I am excited to feature another episode of Brilliant Things My Facebook Friends Say. I call it that because I'm fortunate to have some Facebook friends that are really high-level entrepreneurs. Today we're talking about John Reese, who many people know as the first person who did $1 million in one day with his product launch called Traffic Secrets. This was way back, I believe in the early 2000s or mid 2000s when he did this, and he's gone on to build all kinds of businesses, has made tons and tons of money. He just has a knack for being what I would consider an uber entrepreneur, and someone who I follow very closely. And he's now kind of under the radar. He's really focused on his business, and he doesn't spend a lot of time on social media, but when he does surface, man, the stuff that he puts out is really brilliant. So I wanted to actually read this post to you and a little bit of a follow-up because it is brilliant advice for any entrepreneur. Here it is. The number one secret to entrepreneurial success and your fastest progress ever is making decisions in advance. In any system, process, step-by-step flow, etc., anytime you have to stop or are delayed by having to make a decision, it is keeping you from making progress towards greater success. The more of your future plans you can define ahead of time and make decisions on what different steps will entail, the faster you'll have progress and get results. The number of steps to go from 0 to 10 million in revenue, or any amount, are the same whether they're done in 5 years or in 5 months. The reason why progress isn't done faster is because individuals and companies reach bottlenecks where real-time decisions have to be made, rather than making decisions in advance. If you had a 325-step process you knew would bring tremendous results, but step number 19 is, quote, coming up with a name for the product, and you wait until you get to that step and then stall your progress until you come up with that name, everything after step 19 is pushed to some undetermined time in the future. But if you can take any of those steps that require a decision and make that decision in advance, then the 325 steps will be executed at maximum speed and get you to your desired result 10 times faster, because there will be no more delays to make singular decisions along the way. Carefully define what you want to accomplish. Define all the steps it will take to get there. Make any and all decisions for any step as early on as you can. Then the rest can simply be executed without delay. Now, there was a response to his post down here, and I want to read that to you. And that's right here. He says, also, can I toss this in here? Some of the steps might need altering or tweaking when you reach that step. What's your advice on that? Let's say step number 45 needs some tweaking from the first plan. I think what's probably best is to make a decisive decision, tweak, edit, recalibrate quickly, and push forward with confidence, but don't get hung up too long. JR. And then John Reese replies, decision time is lack of execution time, so it needs to happen before the bottleneck occurs, even if you change your mind at some point. Imagine water flowing through a pipe, and up ahead, the water will reach a point 500 yards away in another day. But you know you need to figure out what to use to plug a small hole that's right at the 500-yard marker. Well, you can't wait until the water reaches that point. You have to make the decision and plug it in advance. You can always reroute the pipe or use different materials to replace the original pipe, etc. at some point in the future, but most people spend far too much time getting a pipe to carry the water X distance. In other words, the last step in a process, because of the decision-making bottleneck. Human nature is to wait until a point in time when a decision must be made, when all along it was obvious that the decision had to be made. It was one of many steps in the flow and could have been made well in advance. Now, this is just brilliant. You know, it sounds simple, but when we apply this to real life and real life business, it's often not as simple because we're often right in the thick of it. We're in the middle of what we're doing right now, and we're having a difficult time seeing ahead to the steps that are coming or the steps that we're going to be taking. But I love the idea that if you can define these things in advance and make these decisions in advance, Then you could have easy flow through of any project that you have. This also goes along with some great advice I received from a multimillionaire many, many years ago. And this was at an event that I attended, and he said, the only thing that's different between me and the average person in this business, this was a financial services business, is I looked at any obstacle in my way and I quickly figured out a way to get over it, under it, through it, around it. I figured out a way to get through my obstacles faster than anybody else did. And it goes right along with what we're saying here, what John Reese is saying here, is it's about the speed with which you get things done, and the speed with which you get things done will determine how well you get them done and how much progress and how much profitability you get as well. So I wanted to share that here under Brilliant Things My Facebook Friends Say. John Reese is amazing, and he brought it with this post here, and I had to share this information with you. I thought it was really going to benefit somebody out there. If it does benefit you, please go ahead and post a comment. If you like this type of information, please subscribe, like the video, and I look forward to seeing you tomorrow on The Daily Hustle.